This is a quick review of the Mackie MobileMix 8. And I'll dub this review the mixer that does not have a panning knob on it. So it has, and I guess I could flip this around after. It has an effects section, which is three modes: Hall, plate, reverb, and delay. And there's an effects send on each, and then there's the EQ. But for some reason they left the panning off. So that's the first thing. I actually haven't seen a lot of stuff about this unit online in general. So that's one of the reasons why I've made this video to help other people, because it's interesting. It must be very new to the market, within half a year or something, just judging by how few reviews there are online. So I think there's some really awesome stuff about this unit. One of them is I've made use of this battery pack. I have a USB battery pack, and I'm on a rental unit at the moment from Long McQuaid, and so it's missing a few cables, and I don't know if it's shipped with a little cable for the battery pack, because in the Mackie video or something they had a little green cable that was like the right size, but you can tuck it was very hard to actually get it the right setup, but once I did, it's in there now. And it was really cool when I turned on this mixer, because now you have phantom power with that. But then there's like a bunch of other things that just don't exist on this that make it really bizarre. Because so if I could power this from battery and have phantom, then why don't you let me use this USB as an audio interface, so that it could go right into my iPhone as an interface? I did some tests. I don't think it loads as an interface on the PC, and that means and then as a result, it won't do that on the iPhone. It sounds good. So my experiment was that I recorded with this output. The main outs went to my Zoom 4-channel, the black recorder. Which model is that? It's not in this room, but so it went there, and then you could sculpt the sound a bit with the EQ and the reverb. And the problem though is that when I record acoustic guitar in that experiment, I had a microphone on one channel and then my pickup on the other. And if you have that type of setup, you want to pan them a little left and right, get some variation. Otherwise you're going to have a lot more phasing. And without a panner, you can't stack two similar mono signals on each other. It's just very bizarre. So then there are a few more stereo channels. So they made way for a lot of stereo stuff. So if you want to play guitar and then have a backing track, this would be a very nice system to get that mix going. And I guess this comes down to the main point of the review, is that this thing really only is useful for kind of off the cuff stuff that you just you won't really care about it again. For example, like a live stream or something where you don't need to take that audio and then turn it into a Spotify recording afterwards. That's kind of the gist of it, because of these limitations. But on the upside, you get this like thing that's powered, as I said, with the battery pack. I would not want to use this with powered into the wall, because at that point I'll just use I have another Mackie, one of the proper mixers, right? And it's just, you can't compare the two for that. Now there is something else. So the rental that I had only had a bag of two cables, two USB power and one USB to I think USB-B, which goes into the computer, or is that USB-A? And sort of like your printer cable. And that one misled me because then I thought there was interface mode, and there isn't. But then the other part of this is it was missing TRRS to TRRS, and that's what this primary. So this is the primary jack, and there's a line level in phone and camera, and this is where I got really annoyed with Mackie. There is also a phone on the back that has an arrows going up and down with the phone, that's the second phone input, which is channel 5 and 6. So Mackie's manual for this is like, Mackie wants to be very friendly, user friendly, and approachable, and I guess that's what they decided, that they do well with being approachable to people. And I guess there are a lot of people out there who are coming at audio from a newer spot, and maybe it's like for a gaming application or something like that. But I think Mackie doesn't do itself any service by having that sense of humor in the manual, but then not being clear about like what exactly is going on with this mixer. So they need to like rewrite the manual and put in sections for people who understand audio signal flow. Like, really explain to me what these two channels are, how to get the most out of them. Remind me that, like, without the right connections. So they gave like 2 or 3 flow chart examples. Like, one of them is called like the camping example or something, for like sending music to a speaker in the forest. And it's like, give me an example of how I connect this primary out to my phone. Because remember, the cable was like missing, so I have to go get that cable. Give me an example of how to be very specific about what end, on which end I need to do to send it to my camera, to send it to a stereo audio recording program with an 1/8" cable. Like, this is stuff that's not very clear, and it's frustrating when you can't figure it out. There's no information online because the product's new, and then on top of it, there's the sense of humor that's kind of taunting me. And I know that sounds like I'm overly sensitive about this type of stuff, like not getting an answer and then taking it out on the company. But that's my main suggestion, is that they need to make things a lot more clear. I mean, they even made a joke in the manual about that there was a button that, like, at the top right, that is for camping. Like, it tells you what you forgot at camping. Like, it's like, I don't want to see any jokes about buttons that are not on this device. I don't find that funny. When the device has no panning knob on it. Now you're like treating me like someone who doesn't belong in audio or something. I don't know how to describe that feeling. Like, that this product, it's kind of sidestepping what this really is about. It's about creating connections between instruments and recording, and so, yeah, I guess the use case that the company envisioned is sort of similar to what they were saying, is like, yeah, this thing just goes out to a speaker. But a lot of people pick it up. Like, I kind of picked it up very quickly. Like, I was able to rent it, so I didn't have to do like all this research. But even if I did, I would have had little patience to like watch everyone's YouTube video, similar to what you might be stuck with on mine. But watch everyone's YouTube video and then try to figure out exactly what it does for my needs. but a lot of people want to be able to record to their phone with, like, say, Instagram and or your DSLR camera, which they did put in the manual. And that's what I think people really want to do. Like, I don't understand why they keep, like, this example of, like, this goes to one speaker in the forest is like, oh, that's busking type setup, battery powered speakers. So it's cool for all that. And remember the battery pack in the back. So there's something here that's innovative and worthwhile, but there were other decisions that I think could make this unit better on a future iteration. And I would say even another good one would be installing a battery in here. They're clearly not that expensive now. Like, the battery packs have come down a lot. So maybe a swappable lithium ion battery in here would be super cool. Plus adding audio interface. Maybe like audio interfaces now are showing up in every silly piece of gear. Every amp has an audio interface in it for some reason. Effects pedals have, like, they connect with audio interface mode. Like, I'm paying for an audio interface on objects that I don't really need them from. But then when it comes to a mixer, it has no audio interface in it. And yeah, so anyways, that's what this is. But please add a panning knob when you sit down to redesign this again. Okay, thanks for watching this review.